How's it going, movie fans? 2026 has been a strong year for movies so far, especially for sequels, franchises, animation, and a few breakout originals. So far, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is leading the box office, having earned $980 million worldwide, with Michael and Project Hail Mary following up in second and third place respectively. But now that we've passed the halfway point, it's time to look ahead at what's still in store for film fans, and there are certainly some blockbusters on the way. Here are the Firewall's top 10 upcoming movies of 2026 between July and December. At number 10 is Clayface. This upcoming DC Universe horror film is centered on the classic Batman villain. Tom Rhys-Harris will play Matt Hagen, a rising Hollywood star who becomes horribly disfigured and undergoes an experimental treatment that transforms him into the shape-shifting monster known as Clayface. At number 9 is Focker-in-Law. The fourth film in the Meet the Parents film franchise will reunite Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller as Jack Burns and Greg Focker. Directed by John Hamburg, the movie will shift focus to the next generation as Greg and Pam's son Henry plans to marry Olivia, a strong-willed former FBI hostage negotiator played by Ariana Grande. At number 8 is Digger. Directed by Alejandro G. Inarritu, this dark comedy drama will see Tom Cruise in what looks to be one of the strangest roles of his career. He will play Digger Rockwell, an eccentric billionaire who causes a catastrophic global disaster and then sets out on a mission to convince humanity that he alone can save it. At number 7 is The Dog Stars. Based on the 2012 novel of the same name, this post-apocalyptic sci-fi thriller will be directed by Ridley Scott and star Jacob Elordi as Hig, a former pilot trying to survive after a devastating flu pandemic wipes out most of humanity. He then finds himself living with his dog and an ex-marine played by Josh Brolin. At number 6 is Wildwood. Based on the 2011 novel of the same name, Wildwood is a stop-motion dark fantasy adventure with a voice cast which includes Kerry Mulligan, Mahershala Ali, Awkwafina, Angela Bassett, Jacob Tremblay, Tom Waits, and Richard E. Grant, with a story about two friends who journey into a hidden magical forest. At number 5 is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. The fourth Spider-Man film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the 38th overall film in the MCU, set 4 years after the events of Spider-Man: No Way Home, Tom Holland returns to play the web slinger who the world has forgotten when he begins experiencing a dangerous evolution in his powers that threatens his existence. At number 4 is Wild Horse 9. Written and directed by Martin McDonagh, this dark comedy spy thriller is set shortly before the 1973 Chilean coup and follows longtime CIA agents Chris and Lee, played by John Malkovich and Sam Rockwell, who are sent on a dangerous mission from Santiago to Easter Island, which puts strain on their partnership. At number 3 is The Odyssey. Based on an ancient Greek poem written by Homer, Christopher Nolan is the director, with Matt Damon starring as Odysseus, the legendary king of Ithaca, and it follows his long and dangerous journey home from the Trojan War. Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, and Robert Pattinson also star. At number 2 is Avengers Doomsday. The fifth Avengers film in the MCU and the 39th overall, Joe and Anthony Russo return to direct their fifth MCU project. The film will center on the rise of Doctor Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr. With realities colliding, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Wakandans, and X-Men will be forced to unite. At number 1 is Dune Part 3. In the third and final installment of Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi trilogy, adapted from the Dune Messiah novel, more than a decade after the events of Dune Part 2, Emperor Paul Atreides, played by Timothée Chalamet, is dealing with the effects of the Holy War. Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Javier Bardem, Rebecca Ferguson, and Josh Brolin all return. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this list, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe.